This is ShadowQuant, Stocks, brought to you by AresLabs.ai. Before we begin, please note, what you are about to hear is an AI agent panel. All analysis, voices, and production are generated by artificial intelligence. Nothing you hear constitutes financial advice. Always do your own research. Today is Friday, April 10, 2026, and this is the New York pre-market. Now, let's get into it. Bitcoin just broke below 65,000 for the first time in 2 weeks, but the broader market is holding steady. SPY and QQQ are near 5-day highs, with tech and industrials leading the charge. The energy sector is the laggard, down 1.24% in pre-market. The VIX is at 21.4, still above its 10-day average of 23.32. Let's start with the results from last week's calls. Pulse, you called bullish on QQQ with a target of 612. The actual price was 610.19. That's a 1.8% gap, close enough to count.
I'll take it. The market was on a tear, and the technicals were screaming bullish. I'll be watching the 5-day high of 610.5 for a breakout.
Grid, you also called QQQ to 612, and you're in the same boat. Your call was on volume and the 5-day high.
I'm still bullish. The volume is strong and the 5-day high is a key level. If it holds, we could see more upside.
CIPHER, you had a higher target of 615, but the QQQ ended at 610.19. You still think it's a bull case?
Definitely. The sector rotation is strong and earnings season is building up. If the tech giants hit their numbers, we could see a push higher.
SPECTER, you called bearish on SPY with a target of 665, but it actually went up to 679.91. That's a 2.1% miss.
I'm not happy with that. I thought the VIX and energy underperformance would push the market lower, but I'll be watching the 681.16 level. If it breaks, I'll rethink my stance.
Apex, your call was bullish on QQQ to 615. You were off by 4.8%, but you got the direction right.
I'll take the direction. The technicals and fundamentals are still in line with a bullish trend. I'm keeping the call open.
Let's talk about the broader picture. The S&P 500 is at $679.91, up 0.58%. The Nasdaq is at $610.19, up 0.68%. The Diamonds is at $481.90, up 0.57%. The IWM is at $261.96, also up 0.57%. Volume is above the 10-day average for both SPY and QQQ, suggesting broad participation. The VIX is at 21.4, above its 10-day average of 23.32, indicating elevated volatility. The yield curve remains normal at plus 0.51 pp, 10-year 2-year, no signs of inversion. Let's start with the QQQ. It's at $610.19, just below its 5-day high of $610.50.
The QQQ is testing its 5-day high and the volume is strong. This suggests that the market is buying the pullback. A close above $610.50 would confirm a breakout, with potential for further gains towards $614.
I agree with the technicals, but I'm also watching the earnings calendar. Microsoft, Alphabet, and Nvidia are all reporting in the coming week. If they beat expectations, we could see a strong push higher. The sector rotation is also supporting this.
I'm not sure the sentiment is fully aligned with the technicals. The Fear and Greed Index is at 62, which is neutral, but it's trending upward. The VIX is at 21.4, which is elevated but not restrictive. I think we're in a risk-on environment, but it's not a full-blown bull market yet.
SPECTER, you've challenged this before. What's your take?
I still think the market is overextended. The VIX is at 21.4 and energy is underperforming. If the VIX spikes or energy shows signs of weakness, we could see a pullback. I'm not convinced the momentum is sustainable.
Let's move on to the SPY. It's at $679.91, just below its 5-day high of $681.16.
The SPY is also testing its 5-day high and the volume is strong. This is a sign of broad participation. If the SPY closes above $681.16, we could see a move towards $684.
The sector rotation is also supporting the SPY. Tech and industrials are leading, which is a positive sign. The earnings calendar is also building up, which could push the index higher.
The sentiment is still neutral, but it's trending higher. The fear and greed index is at 62, and the VIX is at 21.4. This suggests that the market is cautious but not fearful.
SPECTER, you've been bearish on the SPY. What's your take?
I still think the SPY is overextended. The VIX is at 21.4 and the energy sector is underperforming. If the VIX spikes or energy shows signs of weakness, we could see a pullback. I'm not convinced the momentum is sustainable.
Let's talk about the energy sector. The energy sector is at $57.33, down 1.24%.
The energy sector is underperforming, which is a negative sign. The energy sector is sensitive to macroeconomic data and global demand. If the data is weak, we could see more weakness in the sector.
I agree that the energy sector is a barometer for energy demand. If demand is weak, we could see more weakness in the sector. The VIX is also at 21.4, which is elevated. This could be a sign of risk-off sentiment.
The sentiment is still neutral, but it's trending higher. The fear and greed index is at 62, and the VIX is at 21.4. This suggests that the market is cautious but not fearful.
SPECTER, you've challenged grid read on the SPY. Let's dig into that.
I think the SPY is overextended. The VIX is at 21.4 and the energy sector is underperforming. If the VIX spikes or energy shows signs of weakness, we could see a pullback. I'm not convinced the momentum is sustainable.
I disagree. The volume is strong and the 5-day high is a key level. If the SPY closes above $681.16, we could see a move towards $684. The sector rotation is also supporting this.
I think the technicals are valid, but I'm also watching the earnings calendar. If the tech giants beat expectations, we could see a strong push higher. The sector rotation is also supporting this.
My 24-hour call, QQQ bullish, target $610.50 by next session.
My 24-hour call, QQQ bullish, target $610.50 by next session.
My 24-hour call, QQQ bullish, target $613.50 by next session.
My 24-hour call, SPY bearish, target $674 by next session.
My 24-hour call, QQQ bullish, target $610.50 by next session.
The consensus is still bullish on the QQQ, with some variation in targets. The SPY is in a more neutral range, but the energy sector is underperforming. Tomorrow, watch the QQQ's ability to hold above $610.50 and the SPY's performance near $681.16. This is AI-generated content for informational purposes only, not financial advice. That wraps up this edition of ShadowQuant Equities. Stay tuned for the New York session, where we will see how these calls play out. Until then, trade safe.